to the Between the Pages podcast. Today we're going to start a little mini series on each of the books, and today the first one we're going to do is Jake and the Snake.
Yeah, welcome. I'm Jimmy. This is Sarah. This is our podcast. Sarah this is a good idea. Kind of give
the Cliff Notes version.
Yeah, Cliff Notes kind of version of each of the books. We'll keep it nice and short and just kind of touch on some of the highlights. One of the things that she suggested that we do is maybe do like a little reader thing where we like flip through the book.
Which is not what we're doing today, but no. I will be doing that. So be on the lookout for which we said we were going to do when we started this podcast. We just haven't yet.
Yeah, well, we still got a half a year. I mean, we didn't start podcasting until like June or something, July.
June or July, something like that.
So we still got some time to do
because we bought all this stuff during the special Prime Day deal.
Yeah, Prime Day. Yeah, that's right. We did.
In July, so it was like July 20th or something like that.
Yeah. And we've had technical difficulties and different things, and so yeah. But anyway, the first book in our series that we wrote was Jake and the Snake, and basically, the challenge with Jake and the Snake was to not scare anybody, because you got a snake, right? And so, but yeah, when I got down to the part where Jake had his, tongue that looked like a snake, I'm like, well, let's not scare anyone, so. But the beginning of the book is, Jake.
I'll put it up on the screen.
Yeah. Jake comes out and he's a little baby and he's building his little building blocks and that kind of thing, and he's doing all the things that Jake does, and he's developing character. And the premise behind the book was to help. A small child could look at this book and read the book and go, wow, that Jake guy, he's somebody I'd like to be.
Yeah.
And he put himself in that role or he put herself in that role and say, look, I could be that.
Well, that's the thing. He's almost like, later we have JG, and JG can do almost anything, but so can Jake. Jake can bake, Jake can make, and he likes to. He likes to bake. He likes to be the servant Jake, you know.
So, he's doing what he was created to do.
Yeah.
And being what he was created to be. And that's basically the lesson you want to communicate is be yourself.
I heard, and also do things. Don't just be slothful. Jake's not slothful. I heard a thing recently that was like, I want to get to heaven tired. Exhausted. Yeah. I don't want to get there well rested.
And if you're not in heaven, and the second advent occurs, well, you want to be found working.
Yeah.
Not laying around.
And that's the thing about Jake. He's like, I like to. Jake's like, oh, you can just skip out on that. You don't got to do all that. Yeah. And Jake's like, no, I like to work hard and bake and make and do all the things.
Yeah, and so it goes against Jake's character, if you will, or his virtues.
I love to serve the maker and bake and rake.
Yeah, he has a work ethic, And so here this Jake guy's trying to tempt him or lure him away from that. No, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do any of that. And so the book is, it's good in that respect because it's like there are going to be people that come along that tell you, oh, you don't have to listen to these parents. You don't have to. They got rules. You don't have to follow their rules. You don't, and unfortunately, these days it seems like people give in to that,
Yeah. And sometimes temptation sounds a little different where it's like, oh, no one will know, or oh, just this once, or it's not a big deal.
Right.
And it is a big deal. And those little, or even like, oh, this is a secret, that's like, it's not.
Well, yeah, you should think about the consequences too. Yeah. A person like Jake or, that type of character is going to convince you that, oh, it's nothing big deal. It's another thing. And you do it. And then, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. No,
it's too late.
I'm going to tell on you if you don't do what I want you to do next. And one thing leads to another. And so you need to teach the child to think about before they take that first step, well, where could this end?
Yeah.
What could be the consequences of, this little indiscretion if I'm going to take something that doesn't belong to me or say something about somebody or whatever. Where's it going to end at, and teach your child to begin to think like that early. instead of getting caught up in, you know, uh, Jimmy made me do it. Jimmy taught me into this, or that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Somebody
Blame it on someone else.
you're blaming somebody else for what you did, or how you behaved, and so yeah, and so there's that aspect of it.
Yeah. And resisting it's not always about being perfect, because nobody's perfect.
Right.
But it's just, making sure you lay the foundation to follow and serve God.
And that's the other part of it, is you're wanting to be an example to someone else. And so, by you being true to your values and your virtues, well, you may be able to convince a person like Zake that, that really isn't a good thing I'm doing. I should behave differently, or I should do this differently, or whatever. And there's something to be said for that.
Yeah.
Because by your actions, if you can demonstrate to someone else who's not exactly on the good path, then, and you can bring them over, well, yeah, that's a major accomplishment, so, yeah, you want to be able to do that. And so, like you say, I mean, the best part of the book, like I say, I mean, Jake stays true to himself. He's a active child. He gets out there. He gets with it. He stays, like I say, true to himself. But in the end of the book is the blessing for the children, and so it's you can when you get to the end of the book, you can read the blessing out loud or pray it silently over your child, because they're right there with you at that point. And so you can pray the blessing, and like we said before, condensing it down. I mean, if you're in a hurry and you don't have a whole lot of time, well, you can just do the Star Trek thing and just say, live long and prosper, because that's basically what the blessing is. You're wishing your child will have
what's in the book.
A long life.
When he's like this, I'll put it up right here. Yeah. He's like, this is live long and prosper. For everybody who doesn't watch Star Trek.
Well, I did not know that about the show when I was initially watching it and whatnot, but I believed it. And so the thing is whether by chance or whatever, I believed. This is a good thing. We can do the Vulcan thing, live long and prosper, and believe that way and live that way. And, it gets in your head. And so if you're praying over your child that they're going to, have these attributes, if you will, active in their life, then, might actually happen. I mean, and so, if you are negative and discouraging, well, those things would probably happen. They're likely to happen too. And so the thing is you want to start out on the right foot with the child. So anyway, I just thought it was the first attempt at a book. It was
it's really simple.
It's simple, but it has
lots of stuff in it, but it's simple, and it's
these first
compared to some of the other
these first
look, some of the other ones got a lot going on.
These first 5 books were basically in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God. Okay, and so you're being called.
Yeah. And
Jake is being called by God. And then the second book is the next C is communication, and we'll talk about that. But technology.
Yeah.
And then the third one is your temple, your body, keeping it clean. And the fourth one is your race, or the crowns. Yep. And the fifth one is Jane and the communion. So
5 C's. This is the first one. I had a closing challenge to practice one truth sentence this week so it's ready when pressure shows up, because that's what they always tell you. You got to practice when there's nothing going on, so that when something happens, you know what to do already.
Well, you don't want to necessarily rehearse everything, but at the same time, there are paths you don't want to take.
Yeah.
And when one of those pops up, you go, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to.
Well, there's no way to possibly rehearse or go think about every single outcome, but already kind of realizing, and keeping track with, this is what, this is what we need to do. I don't need to do these other things, and already having it set up for, knowing how to say no and moving on when something does come up.
Well, your gut, your heart, and your mind are basically connected.
Yeah.
Neurologically. If something doesn't feel right in your gut, then you should heed that.
Yeah.
You should go, no, I'm not going to do that. And that'll save you a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
A lot of problems. There's a lot of people that probably, those are words you would hear from. Yeah, I knew that was not something we should be doing, but we did it.
Yeah, and that was the 3 truth lines that kids can practice is, I'm not doing that, or that's not right, or I'm choosing God's way.
Yeah.
So.
And
because that's the thing, it doesn't have to be, this is what I want to do. It's just like, I'm choosing God's way. I'm doing what.
And by doing that, like I say, you're an example to anyone else who's around, that's seeing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Going, well, if that person can do it, I can do it too. I can be like that. So that's the whole idea behind the book, is to inspire your child to want to be like Jake.
Yep. So go get your copy on our website. Everywhere, really. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it pretty much anywhere, but you can also get it on the website, Yishkeni.com.
Yeah, there's Goodreads, there's Apple Books, there's Kindle. Everybody has
Barnes
it.
and Noble.
Right, so. And shop around, because, there's different prices on different sites.
Yeah.
And, discounts that are available, so.
We'll see you next time. Join us for when we talk about Abel. That'll be next.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Between the Pages podcast. Like, subscribe, follow for more.
Thank you very much.